Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Something in my damn eye. Snapzilla Gorilla here, aka The Definition. Coming at y'all with this quick live stream. I wanted to discuss this because I feel like it's very important to recognize this. The distinction between a coon and a skunk. Right? Because there are very many skunks out there. And many of us are not aware of them because they hide themselves very well. And they might not even know that they are a skunk. Anyway, it's your boy, Snapzilla Gorilla, aka The Definition. And yeah, I want us all to understand that yes, there are coons out there. There are blatant coons out there that don't care to hide their self-hatred. And then you have the skunks that do disguise their self-hatred, that infiltrate, right? They'll infiltrate. They'll make it seem like they down. But when push comes to shove, you can see the agenda. You can see the agenda. I'll give you a couple examples. Brandon Tatum, the Officer Tatum, who has a YouTube channel, is a blatant coon, right? He is a blatant, outright, run-of-the-mill coon like you've never seen before. He is the perfect example and embodiment of what a coon is. He doesn't hide it. He is aware that he is looked at as a coon by the black community. He does not give a shit. He will go up to, like he said himself, when he went and moved into this neighborhood that was mostly white, and he was trying to make friends with the white folks because he wanted to go biking. Yeah, he wanted to go biking, and he wanted to introduce himself to the neighbors and did not want to scare them. So he would go up to them and tell them he's one of the good Negroes. I'm one of the good ones. I'm one of the good Negroes. You ain't got to worry about me. I ain't like them niggas over there. No. I'm a good Negro. You can trust me. I'm not going to fuck up your property value. That's a coon, right? That is an upright coon. And on some level, you can respect it because they don't hide it. They don't care. They will tell you to your face, and you know where you stand with them. They're the ones that holler, woke this, woke that, you know what I'm saying? And all that. They'll deny racism. They'll deny it. And that's what they do. David Mays says, all men are created equal. Hi from Montreal. I agree. All men are created equal. But there are some out there, there are individuals out there in groups, they don't recognize that. Now, a perfect example of a skunk is the Amazing Lucas. He calls himself the Amazing Lucas. I call him the Clown Shoe Lucas. He is a skunk. He is the Pepe Le Pew, right? That will paint the white stripe going down the middle of his back black so that he can try to get at the black cat. Y'all know Pepe Le Pew from Looney Tunes? Yeah, I'm showing my age right now. Pepe Le Pew was a cartoon character who was a skunk. And he came across this black cat, a female black cat. And he was like, God damn, I want to get with this black cat. But the problem was she knew he was a skunk. So she wasn't fucking with him. So what did he do? He painted his back black, the stripe. And tried to act like a cat so that he can win her over. That's what skunks do. In particular, the Pepe Le Pew skunks. The Clown Shoe Lucas is a perfect example of that. Let me tell you why. Because he was like Brandon Tatum for a long time. He was like Brandon Tatum for a long time, an outright coon, right? an outright coon or a skunk. But there was a case of Ahmaud Arbery where he felt like there was an injustice done. If you guys know anything about Ahmaud Arbery, I won't get into that right now, but I covered that at length. But the thing is, he came across as though he was a changed man. As though he was a changed man, as though he saw the error of his ways and started to behave like a Hotep two-step. He started to behave like he was down for the people, that he was down for the cause. So what he did was he painted that white stripe, they're going down the middle of his back, black, so that he could appear to be down and appear to be 100% on the black hand side. But he is not. Because at the end of the day, he is a statist. He doesn't believe in true freedom for black folks. He wants black folks to attach themselves to a Democratic Party who is essentially more racist than the Republican Party. The Republican Party, right? They really don't hide their disdain for black folks. You know where they're coming from, right? Whether they believe they're racist or not, they have certain feelings about black people. Well, Democrats have paternalistic ideas about black people, right? They believe that they are the fathers of black. They think black folks need their help. They think black folks can't survive without them. They think black folks should attach themselves to them, or else they're going to have problems. And when you turn on the Democratic Party as a black man, they will come after you. They will go in on you. They will try to take you down, right? They think they know what's best for you. They don't want black folks to be independent. No, they want black folks to be dependent on them. They want black folks to look at them like they're saviors. And this is what a clown shoe Lucas does. And you'll hear it in certain things that he says about certain people. And this is what you got to look out for. You got to look out for the black folks that try to act like they down. But when they get tested, when it really comes down to what the reality is, they will show you. You just got to believe them when they show you. You got to believe them. You got to say, okay, this doesn't make any fucking sense. And when you relate it to the sport of boxing, it's the same shit. Because Devin Haney had a match against Ryan Garcia, who proved himself to be a PED user and a racist. A racist PED user. But you'll have some black folks out there, even some YouTubers and content creators, that you would think were down, but they really showed themselves not to be. Why? Because when push came to shove, when it came time to hold Ryan Garcia accountable for the drug cheating and this racist behavior, we want to dismiss that and call that an excuse. We want to place the blame on Devin Haney and say, well, it was Devin Haney's performance that was the problem. I don't care about the PEDs. That is what a skunk does. That is what a skunk does. That is what a skunk who is painting himself black down the middle of his back. That's what he does. And when they expose themselves for what they are, we have to treat them accordingly. It's just necessary. We have to. Otherwise, we're going to continue to get infiltrated. We're going to continue to get screwed over by these people. Once they show themselves for who they are, it's a wrap. And it wasn't just this one content creator. It's multiple content creators. Knockoff Pity Pat. You know what I'm saying? Claymore Rain, they feel like Devin is more responsible for that loss than Ryan Garcia is, even though it's not a loss, even though it was reversed to a no contest. The amazing Lucas will blast black folks for pushing the freedom agenda. Pushing the freedom agenda when, you know, it's very clear that trying to hang on to this left-right paradigm lie is going to get you screwed up. It's going to keep you stuck, right? The Mind of Mansa Musa was good. Feel the Steel, Tattoo and Piercing was good. Do I have my DD-214 papers? Yes. Why are you asking this? Yes, I don't have them with me right now. But yes, I do have DD-214 papers. Why are you asking me that? Absolutely. Mind of Mansa Musa. Freedom ain't free. And look, some people don't understand the trap that we're setting for ourselves, right? Because we want to believe that one party or the other is for black people. No. They will sell us a dream and whisper sweet nothings in our ear and utilize us to push their agenda, but they don't really give a shit about our needs. Even as individuals, outside of race, even just as individuals, they don't care about your need as an individual, and they definitely don't care about your need. About your needs as individual black people. The Mind of Mansa Musa says, bro, I fell back off of Claymore Rain because he Black KO very sneaky with his wordplay about Bill and Devin. Oh yeah, absolutely. And what really cinched it for me was when he said he does not care about Ryan Garcia being on PEDs. He cares more about Devin Haney's performance. Even though Ryan Garcia's performance was enhanced by PEDs, and the fact that if Ryan Garcia was not enhanced by PEDs, the fight would have went a completely different direction. Because common sense, I mean, come on, right? The performance enhancing drug he used literally helps and aids in the things that you do in the sport of boxing. Even though you'll have bodybuilders out there who don't know a lick about boxing that will tell you, oh, I wouldn't use Ostarine as a boxer. No, you would use Ostarine as a boxer. That is a perfect PED to use. You know why? Because as a boxer, you're not a bodybuilder. If you're a male bodybuilder, no, you're not going to use Ostarine, right? Like that. Women would most likely use it because it's less harmful effects, less harmful side effects against the user. But you don't get as much as an enhancement as, say, if you were using like an Anavar or a what's that one? It's a SARM. It's the bad SARM, the SARM that fucks you up real bad, right? It really but it really does help you build muscle. No, if you're not a bodybuilder, but you want to use a performance enhancing drugs to enhance your performance outside of just building muscle, like let's say if you need to cut weight, right? If you're in a sport where you need to cut weight and building muscle is not necessarily a benefit, like in boxing, but if you cut weight, you will maintain a good amount of muscle. Your body won't catabolize itself to the point where you lose strength, you lose power, you lose endurance, muscular endurance, and all that type of shit, power and speed. But guess what? Ostarine will aid you in cutting weight without losing muscle and without losing muscular endurance and speed and power. This is perfect for a boxer. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, that is the fact. If Ryan Garcia didn't even cut all the way he was supposed to cut. Why? It was very difficult because the Ostarine prevented him from losing enough muscle. The Ostarine prevents you from losing too much muscle. So, in a weight cut that extreme, you're going to lose some muscle. Well, if the Ostarine does not allow you to lose muscle, which would allow you to lose those 3 pounds to get down to the proper weight, then guess what? That is an enhancement. You're keeping your muscle. You're keeping your muscular endurance. You're keeping your speed and your power, right? And maybe even in increasing it a little bit. And people will tell you, oh, Ostarine is not a weight cut. Oh, he just used it for, it was just a weight cutting thing or whatever. No, Ostarine is not a fucking diuretic. It's not a weight cutting drug. It is a drug that allows you to cut weight without losing muscle. But it's not, it's in and of itself, it's not in and of itself a diuretic or a fat burner. It's not. Ostarine is not a fat burner, but it allows you to, if you are taking a fat, let's say you take Ostarine and a fat burner, you will lose less muscle, right? You will lose less muscle than you would if you were not taking Ostarine. That's the whole point. But anyway, if you say you don't care about the performance enhancing drug user in that fight, you are eliminating a huge variable that allowed Ryan Garcia to win, or that allowed Ryan Garcia to look good enough, get those three knockdowns against Devin Haney, which helped him pull off the win. Otherwise, if he had not gotten those knockdowns, he likely would have lost on the scorecards. So when you say, oh, I don't care about Ryan Garcia being on drugs, and you try to rationalize it and you try to cover it up and, oh, well, this, that, no. That clear, and you're talking about a racist drug cheat that did this to a black man, and you go on the bat, essentially, for the racist drug cheat, even though you're not saying you're going to bat for him, by dismissing it and by pushing it to the side and not addressing it as you should. You are showing skunk behavior. You're showing Pepe Le Pew behavior. Because at the same time, you and him and the people on this panel are saying, oh, I'm a Devin Haney fan, I'm this, I'm that. Yet and still, you are saying that the PED shit was an excuse. Oh, we need to stop making excuses. What about his performance? It's bullshit. And this applies to every aspect in every aspect of life, in every aspect of society, because there are those skunks out there, like a Jesse Jackson, like an Al Sharpton, like that chick that's always going in on the Senate. What's her name? The black chick. All these people, they act like they down for the cause. Black Lives Matter. Those three lesbian chicks. All these people that act like they down for the cause, they go so hard in the paint against the Republicans. They go so hard in the paint against, you know what I'm saying? But they don't address the reality of the fact that we need to separate from government. We need to separate, not just as black people, but as individuals. We need to remove government from our lives. But these people want you to stay stuck under government rulership. They want you to stay in the chains. They want you to stay shackled up, right? Because they benefit from keeping you stuck. They benefit. They get financial benefit. They get notoriety. They get fame. They get interviews. They go on Shay and all this other type of shit. They will keep you stuck. It is not the popular thing to speak reality, to talk about facts, because they don't want to hit you the reality. They don't want to hit you with the harsh reality that, look, freedom, just like my brother Mind Mansa Musa said, freedom ain't free, and freedom is very uncomfortable. Freedom, for some people, right? Freedom is very uncomfortable. Freedom means no emergency services. Freedom means no government aid. Freedom, it means all that shit. It means that you have to be self-sustainable and self-reliant. It means that you have to be resourceful. You have to be able to do certain things. You have to be mobile. You have to be able to defend yourself by any means necessary with any tool necessary. It means that there is possible danger around every corner until you fortify your position, fortify your land, fortify your property, and get it secure, and build communities with people and come together and all work together to secure what you got. But there won't be no government to fly in and help you. There will be no government to take you to the hospital and get you in that emergency room. No, you're going to have to build your own clinics. You're going to have to educate yourselves in medical shit, in first aid and in emergency surgeries and all that stuff. You're going to have to build a community of people that have this type of knowledge and knows what needs to be done, knows what tools are needed, knows how sterile something needs to be. When you want to, if you want to bring electricity to your house, you're going to have to have people with the knowledge of how electrical theory works, how to build the systems to bring that shit, to build the infrastructure. But people don't want to do the work. They want to sit back and have people like me, right? Because I'm an electrician by trade and an Army veteran. They want to sit back and let people like me handle it while they go to their cushy jobs in the office. When that shit gets taken away, when the grid goes down, hell, it even applies to YouTube content creators or content creators across all these platforms that make money on this shit. When the shit goes down, what do you got? Because either freedom is going to get you that, or some type of imminent attack, some type of thing that is going to be brought about. It's going to happen at some point. Either the freedom is going to get you there, because once you achieve freedom, or once you attempt to achieve freedom, they will cut you off. They will cut you off. And these Pepe Le Pews, they don't want that. They want you stuck. So they'll come to you and they'll say, "Oh, you need to join the Republican Party. You need to go protest this and protest that." I heard about some shit on April 5th that's supposed to go down, where they're asking black folks to be on the front lines of some type of protest. I think some in the Capitol somewhere in Washington, D.C. That is foolish. You take your black ass out there and do that, and some Asian provocateur start some shit. You think the Trump administration and his DOJ and his goddamn and whoever else he has out there to guard whatever is going to care? They want you on the front lines to be cannon and bullet fodder. But you got black folks out there telling you to do this silly shit. You got so-called black leaders out there, instead of preaching self-sufficiency and self-reliance and removing yourself from the system, they're teaching you to beg from the system, right? They're teaching you, we need to crawl on our hands and knees and ask for reparations. They're not going to give us reparations if we just simply ask for it. No, we have to demand it. We have to get it. We have to take it. But again, that's uncomfortable. So what do? They'll have committees and conferences, and they'll pass bills that say, "Oh, we're going to research reparations." No, they are kicking the can down the road, and they're leading you by your fucking nose to no goddamn where. No. This is what the Pepe Le Pews do. They lead you down the road to destruction. They lead you down the road to continue slavery. They lead you down the road of keeping the shackles on. Because they believe in the left-right paradigm, or they want you to believe in the left-right paradigm because they benefit from it. They gain from it. Meanwhile, you stuck doing the same shit you've been doing. And you're believing in the nonsense. My name is Musa says, you cooking with grease outside in a big back pot with wood underneath it, out of open, dropping knowledge. Yes, sir. Teach. I appreciate that. Carrie Polingo says, what am I talking about? Well, I mean, if you listen, you should, yeah, you should listen. I don't know. Freedom means being able to live 100% off the land and resources being 100% self-sufficient. Exactly. They think freedom means, oh, well, they're going to pass a law to give us civil rights. Oh, look at this. What about the Civil Rights Act of 1964? That wasn't for black folks. No. What about affirmative action and DEI? Oh, they're crying about DEI. Well, DEI benefited mostly white women. And I showed you guys that in a previous live stream. No. No. Listen, freedom is not about gaining shit from the government, right? It's not about the government still being in existence and they pass a bill and give you a few $100, a few $1,000 a week or something like that. That's not what it is. No, freedom is the non-existence of government and building your own shit without paying property taxes, without eminent domain. If you guys don't know what eminent domain is, look it up. Because everybody that owns property in this country is not yours, right? The government has eminent domain over your property, and if they want to take it, they will. They'll just give you due compensation for it. Look it up. Look up eminent domain and how that came about. Look at the court case, how the precedent was set. That's not freedom. They have essentially gotten you to buy land that you live on. It doesn't matter if it's 2 acres or 20,000 acres. It's not your fucking land. Because either you're paying property tax on it or the government can take it from you at any point. No, if it's your land, it's land that you exist within and that you can do whatever the fuck you want within it without outside influence having anything to do with it. And if they do try to have something to do with it, you're able to defend it by any means necessary. Without any undue consequences. But now in today's time, with eminent domain, there are in living under government rulership, there are consequences. Because if the police decided, oh, we want to come on your property, even though they're not supposed to, even though we have a Fourth Amendment that does not allow them to do that, if they come onto your property without permission and without probable cause, and you decide to defend yourself against them, I don't know, by blowing their head off, I don't know, just hypothetically speaking, you will go to jail for that because they're popo, because they are agents of the government. So in reality, that's not your land. You're just paying to borrow it. Yeah, you're paying to borrow that land that you think you own. You don't own that. Because at any time, so you can even fight it in court and say, look, man, they violated the Fourth Amendment. That might work. But 9 times out of 10, they didn't have a warrant. They didn't have probable cause. They can't prove probable cause. Whatever. But nowadays they got workarounds for that. They got what they call red flag laws. Somebody can say that they think you're a danger to yourself or others, and without due process, they can come onto your property and take your shit. They go to a judge and say, hey, we're going to initiate this red flag law against this guy. Bada boom, bada bing, they go to your house. We have a, what do they call it? Something order, something violent order, whatever. It's not called a red flag thing. It's called a violent prevention order, whatever the fuck. They come to your house without any proof. Somebody just said some shit. Maybe you were talking about your guns at work. Oh, I got this, I got that, and they are anti-gun, and they don't like you, so they'll send the police to your house. Yeah. So when it's your property, it's your house, but they can show up based on that and try to take your shit, and you won't have any recourse legally. You will have no legal recourse. What does that mean? That means that you don't own that house. That means you don't own that land. Because you're not going to be allowed to defend it without any undue consequences. But if the police show up to your house, you know you've done nothing wrong, and they got their guns drawn and they try to take your shit, by all rights, you should be able to defend yourself against that. But because they use so many things against you, these man-made laws, these so-called laws that they put in place to keep your ass in check, they'll convince you that you did something wrong, even though you know you didn't. You might have gotten an argument at work with somebody that doesn't like guns, that heard you talking about guns. So now you're fucked. Civil rights, civil assets forfeiture, all that type of shit. All they have to have is a belief that you've done something wrong based on arbitrary shit. And they can use that to violate you and violate your property. the Fourth Amendment goes out the window. But a Pepe Le Pew will convince you that this is okay because of public safety. Oh, we need these things in place. We need to have this. We need to have that. Oh, we need gun laws because some people aren't responsible with them. Complete and utter bullshit. This guy's tires fucked up. So, and that's just the reality of it. Beware of the Pepe Le Pews that will convince you that you need to have yourself tied to a political party in order to be great, in order to have things that you need. Beware of the Pepe Le Pews that will tell you, oh, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of Devin Haney, but he should be making excuses about Ryan Garcia being a drug cheat. That type of shit, unexcusable. I don't care how you rationalize yourself around it. Because nothing happens in a vacuum, right? See, that's what they try to do. They try to make things exist in a vacuum. Oh, well, it was Devin Haney's performance that got him the loss. Well, now you're putting Devin Haney's performance in a vacuum. And you want to put Ryan Garcia's drug use in a vacuum. It don't work like that. One thing leads to another. Everything is connected, right? One thing leads to another. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's the bottom line. Sunshine, hey, that's the best. That is the best example I can come up with. Sunshine says, my granddad was a Blackfoot, and he used to say all the time that it would take the same force to get our land back. He was of a tribe that was notorious for being fearless and living off the land. Yeah, facts. But that's just the reason. I mean, that's just what it is. Phil the Still says there's a reason Pepe ain't allowed on TV. Exactly. Pepe Le Pew was hey, if he wasn't a skunk, he would have been a smooth player. But once she found out he was a skunk, because every time he would get close to her and every time he get close and he was about to get that action, something would happen, like some water will spill on his back and she'll realize he's a skunk. And that was it. That was all she wrote. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. I'm going to get on in here and give me some produce for the house and some raw milk because I love it. And yeah, I haven't died drinking it yet. And I've been drinking it for over 15 years. Anyway. Oh, yeah. He was shysty and pushy. Yeah, that's how they operate. Anyway, much love, like, share, subscribe. And we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.